Hi folks, I'm Mark, one of the founders of Talking Shop Media and the producer of the Talking Shop Media podcast. I'm just in the process of editing episode 2 of our podcast, which goes live today, Sunday the 14th of February 2021. In episode 2 I had the chance to interview Jim Hopkins, who runs a whisky shop called Spirit of Alba. And we had a great chat about his journey from being a history professor in Sofia, Bulgaria, to being the owner of Spirit of Alba here in Glasgow, Scotland. And one of the things that we chatted about was the decision to take the plunge to start your own business. And Jim had just a few little nuggets of advice for us.
I think as a younger guy, girl, just getting into business, you think you've got to prove that you know it all and it all lies on you. I realised that I can't do that. And I think finding the right people, asking the right questions, and a lot of the time it is asking the right questions, not blagging for the sake of blagging. And I think it finds you out eventually. So be honest to yourself especially. And then I think through hard work, you might do okay. You might not be financially, millionaire or whatever, but you're doing what you want to do and you're being successful at it.
I was quite keen to get to the bottom of how Jim had gone from being an academic to running a whisky shop. But what surprised me was the story of an event that took place in his life back in 1968 when he was 4 years old, and he and his mother had visited his father's homeland of Czechoslovakia, and an event that took place in that country in 1968 that would go on to change and shape Jim's life.
If you ever remember the film Schindler's List, there's this amazing scene in one of the ghettos, the old building, and you hear the German troops stamping up in their jackboots in the wooden floors. That's what the sound was, coming to the door. And it was just this clatter on the door, and it was obviously hitting the door with the rifle butt. My grandpa opened the door and they placed the rifle butt in his head and he dropped dead there and then. And then the soldiers came in. But I'd say that was the moment that changed my life forever.
I think you'll really enjoy listening to Jim's interview on the Talking Shop Media podcast. Go ahead and subscribe. You can visit the Spotify page to do so, and there's also an option there to leave us a voice message that we might choose to play on a future episode of the podcast. So on behalf of Ferg and myself at Talking Shop Media, thanks for watching the video, and we hope you enjoy listening to the Talking Shop Media podcast.